Welcome everyone to Keepers of the Flame. My name's Lemurian Rose. And today we're going to take a journey, an activation journey, and working with the water, which is the mem, and mem in the Hebrew means water. It's the seed syllable for memory, because the memory lives in the waters, in the living waters of the planet, the living waters inside of you, in your intercellular waters. You're made at a molecular level at about 99% water. So in essence, we are actually all mer beings walking around. This is such a profound personal love space for me, because this is the lineage that I have held on this planet for a very, very long time. I came as a starseed back in some of these original seedings of what we call Mu or Lemuria. Lemuria is more of a frequency to me than a name or a place. And have been walking with Gaia Tara for a very, very long time. So it's so exciting for me to be coming into the energy finally of New Lemuria, where the Lemurian grids and the entry point back into the fifth dimensional realities that we used to have as the Christ matrix planet are emerging once again into our reality fields as a very real lived potential. And so it's extremely important for as many who are carrying these codes to be activated, so that together we can resonate around the planet, all these different beautiful nodal points where we are placed around the planet, and we can begin transmitting the information of your own codes that you're carrying, whether you're aware of them or not, into your own waters and into the global waters. Each of the different starseeds and races carry different lineages and pieces and parts. And for those of us here today, we're very called to the BlueRay, the Blue Rose, and the watery world that we live on. It's a transmission of energy. And so I want you to be able to relax into a different brain state so that you can receive the alchemical transmission. And we're going to work to activate some of those records in your own soul matrix. And I do recommend, if it feels good for you, to focus into your higher heart in the center of your upper chest. So I'll begin with a language of light transmission to open the space. Ashaladuya mama kurukuya hamashe horkukushnina la kata tuya ha haloku uya haya shoya shueketeana makuya. Keepers of the flame, you are shakalaya koi, earth guardians. Ashoe halakatatia namamakue. You are of the revered mother races of light. Ashakana notokoya haya. As blue-ray resonant beings, you are part of the sacred gemstone rainbow rays of creation of the Father and Mother God. Heladatoya latatashtoe ha latatatoe ainia. And the emanation of these rainbow rays all reveal different qualities of the Father, Mother, God. And as souls traveling through the matrix of evolution, we embody these different attributes throughout our lifetimes and become masters in holding these attributes and frequencies. And each lineage of each color actually is an entire kingdom or queendom all unto itself. And there's an entire wisdom line and mastery that goes along with that ray. And the blue ray is the first ray of creator, and it holds the royal sapphire codes. Ela tu hurukuya na shalakuya ana nakashea la 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 oya haya. Dika ada aya shoy ahalak oya. The keepers of the blue flame are an ancient lineage from this house of light. And those of you here today resonate as priestesses of this lineage. Priestesses of the Blue Rose Order, priestesses of the Blue Flame, priestesses of Mu. All of these words may resonate with you as a memory flickers inside of your own cellular memory. And whether you are deeply embedded already in your own spiritual process in this, just calling this part back, or whether you are new, does not matter. You are here at the perfect time and space to receive this transmission of codes so that your own codes will be remembered, activated, and used in service to the collective. And for those of us who resonate with this blue flame, we're really returning back to a blue field, and I want you to visualize and feel this blue, watery field as if you're in the ocean all around you. And remember that when you enter the memory space of this field, it is home, and it is your origin point. Halatatoko holokoi halanik iash dalalada tukoya helak amanakoya alak iya. This is a field of the Azoth blue plasma flame, the water, fire, primordial creational matter, the prima mater of all creation. It is the sonoluminescence of the blue, the origin creation, the substance of the starfire creational power. Hashala katoi hananaka oya lakia nakashoi alakia rekatatal oya haya shehaya kaya. And we call back the ancient time fields, the ancient ages, the layers of time that each soul has swam through these etheric time fields. And we call back the memories of this blue field of resonance and frequency that we have tended as keepers of this flame, the life-giving power of the Mother, Father, Creator. And this life-giving sonoluminescent flame was fed into the planetary grids on a regular basis. This is what the priestesses and also the priests were doing. And we were working with not only the ethers, but with the sacred waters, which are the physical manifestation of the etheric plasma. And we were doing this to maintain the perfected template of creation, the as above, so below reflection, as we have the water as a reflection of as above, so below, the source realms and the nether realms woven into one, weaving heaven into earth. And this ray, the blue ray, and its blue flame of sapphire also relates to the entire spectrum of the blues, including the aquamarine ray, which is connected to the cosmic Mother Earth, the higher 13th sphere cosmic Mother, and the throne of the crystal rainbow elders. Ashalatu huruku alak aya shoya nanak ala iya shoy. Yeherukuya nanaya kuruya haya nanakuya dakuya nanakaya shohiya haya. This rainbow ray spectacular display is part of the Christ-Sophia founder lines. And these Christ-Sophia beings that seeded many different life evolutions and waves of evolution were integral in seeding the life and evolution of Earth, Gaia, Tara. And in our own galaxy, these splendid crystalline beings have a centralized body of governance located in Sirius. And so many of you may feel a resonance as a starseed from Sirius, or you may recognize that you came from other star systems, but that you may have come to Sirius to prepare for your incarnations into Lemuria. And today we're receiving those blue sun rose codes from Sirius. And Sirius A is the blue-white star. It's the brightest star in our solar system, and it is our great central sun. It's a source of love and light that is really what is feeding the entire galactic life stream as it steps down from sun to sun to sun into our own sun, and then it is provided as information into our own light body to nurture us and all the inhabitants and creatures on our living planet. Sirius B is the smaller neighbor, and in this star system we have the watery blue realm of Sirius B with the dolphins originating, the cetaceans, the whales, the wisdom elders, who also embodied here onto this beautiful blue-green planet. And it's home to mer people, sometimes called nomos, mermaids, and also the BlueRay councils of light. And so the watery wisdom of creation is held in Sirius and also in other places, but Sirius is like the center point, the origin point for our galaxy. And so from Sirius, the blue flame is held in a great temple of the flame. And this is where the great mother's royalty codes are held, because the blue flame is associated with the Divine Mother and the Christ consciousness. And of course, the blue flame under Archangel Michael also holds a very powerful divine masculine aspect of God's will and power and truth with his sword of truth. And so ultimately the template of Sirius as the blue-white star is the Alpha Omega template of Christ-Sophia, the masculine and the feminine in Hieros Gamos. And so this is why many who are connected to this watery lineage also are connected in different ways to the rose lineage of sacred union and the union of the masculine and the feminine. So you may feel some or all of these attributes or magnetized to some of these symbols and concepts and colors within your own being, because this is the wealth of your own lineage. And you may have another origin point in the star galaxy. It may not be Sirius, but you came there to learn and to bring your light. And from Sirius began the great seeding evolution of Gaia, Tara, Earth as we know her today. The blue ray families emanate from this mother arc, the 13th energetic gate, and they connect to the Mother of God and the cosmic mother. And so you, as a keeper of the flame, as a priestess of Mu, would have trained in the powers of creation, because the cosmic mother is the great creatrix. And so you, as an earth keeper, understood how to tend all of the beautiful bio life systems of coming into form. It's a big jump. It's a big change to go from an etheric spirit of being of light to come into form. And so when we take that journey as a soul, we have to make many preparations to be prepared to do this. And as Earth Gaia Tara was coming into her own, there were many different iterations, and it was easier for these beings, great beings of light, to drop into a form realm, beginning more as an etheric being. So the first beings, the first waves of seeding of this crystalline consciousness came more as etheric plasma beings. But eventually the water beings came, and the water beings were the first. And so taking water bodies, which were very natural because you were a water being to begin with. So if you have resonance or memory of yourself as a mer person, as a mer essence, as a mer fae being, as a dolphin, or even as a whale or any other watery creature, this would indicate your connection back to these early memories of the early seedings of Earth, where we were still in our crystic containers and the Earth had not fragmented yet. The template of Heroes Gamos as our own light body was still intact at this point. So you arrived kuya in a water body. And so from Sirius, you decided to descend into the watery Lemurian or Mu realms as a keeper of the flame. And you knew how to transfer the above emissions of light from the rays into the manifest realm to maintain the harmony of the realms, the harmonic symbiosis. And you were a master of this as a priestess. And of course, we remember that what now is Hawaii or the Pacific Island basins, New Zealand, Australia, is what is left. The original seeding continent that we call or refer to as Mu or Lemuria. So Hawaii and Kauai especially has a special resonance, and it is still holding a very strong template of this particular lineage. We've had many waves come to the planet of blue rays or indigos or rainbow rays or crystal rays, and these are all representatives of the great rainbow cosmic gemstone rays with their masteries coming to give service to the collective birthing of New Lemuria. New Lemuria is what we step into as we enter into this new phase, this new time field that we have just turned into this year as the equinox came and now follows into the solstice and beyond. We turned the wheel of time, and now the keepers of the flame are coming back in their memory so that New Lemuria can be reborn. This lineage holds the original creation, the magic that weaves the entire realm together. This is the guardians of the dragons, the keepers of the wisdom of the Sophia and the cosmic mother and the womb of creation. And so as the light templates of the Heroes Gamos began to become fragmented over time, And the fall of creation began to splinter the fragment into many pieces. The solar feminine, the blue sun feminine, became targeted by the forces that began to seep into the planet and to begin to destroy the sacred templates. And so what once was a living library of light in the Christ-Sophia crystalline annals of time as this beautiful blue-green planet, mother planet, became to be fragmented, and mutations began to seep in, and the feminine and the masculine were fractured into two and broken. And eventually we actually had the gendered bodies of the masculine and feminine, and eventually those, rather than being in harmonic symbiosis and unified as one force, became fractured into two forces that appeared to be in competition or in stress against one another. And many of us in this lineage, because we held the wombs, the watery wombs of the original creation, will find that we have problems with the masculine. It's a very common thing for those in the rose lineage and in the blue rose watery lineage, because of the fall of those lineages over time and the fracturing of those original Heroes Gammas templates, that you may find you have incarnated into ancestral trauma that repeats over, and that you're holding over and over and over again, and it is difficult to come into a solid union with the masculine. And the healing of this is a very important part of this lineage, because you came to be a code breaker, and the code that you're breaking is all the false light programs, the sexual misery programs, and the relational trauma that got woven into the genealogy over time, and now loops and loops and loops from generation to generation. And so many in this lineage have come to be the code breaker. And so now, as a soul evolving, you have come full circle to bring back that template of Heroes Gamos, and to restore the way of living the rainbow rays that are integrated into the living library of light once more. Hashaka o alak ananak oya hashe arak inanak alak oya. So now we're going to take a journey, and we're going to actually return your own codes and activate them together. We're going to dive back into the watery realms so that we can remember together and bring forward what you came as a unique soul in this lineage to bring in this lifetime, that is so important and amalgamates all your lifetimes of preparation. So many trials, so much preparation, so much training, and a lot of suffering and fracturing that you're coming to reconcile in this one great lifetime, where all is merged back into synchronized, unified time. So we can imagine together that we're gathering in these eternal rainbow flames, the sacred fire, as we bask in the radiant glow that illuminates the sky of our souls, the blue sky, the blue field, and imagine yourself immersed in this blue field of oceanic light, as we are transported to the primordial time fields, where the tales of wonder and magic were woven into the very fabric of our existence. And we are warmed by the blue fire. Ashoko as it caresses our spirits and beckons us to share the stories of our own journeys and our own quest for light and evolution. Ashoko yaha. And you can imagine that you're floating in a pearlescent bubble, pearlescent rainbow swirling light, as we return to these memories, Ashadotoko of the water, and the water as the memory, Ashakalakato, be transported into the time field, Ashake Enoko, to retrieve your own soul matrix memories, Ashadotoko, as we're uniting with the consciousness of the living waters, Ashakaya Latoi, ha ha ha, ishte. Aroko Yahaya Mikado Hida Mikohayu Ahaya Hayui Aya Makoi Haya Haye Nahai Makoi Ano hoi hey 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 Nahai Yetakaya shoi halakoi. And the great whale ancestors are here in this beautiful whale bone from Tonga on my necklace. The ancient wisdom in the bones of the whales and the bodies of the whales and the songs of the whales, singing the codes of creation, so we would not forget as humanity fell into slumber.